Oh, anatomy. This is something I have been struggling with for a while now, and if you've seen videos about this topic, you will know that drawing muscular lean people is a good way to learn. And who is the leanest of them all? LeanBeefPatty, of course. Maybe you know her already, but in case you don't, let me tell you about my goat. LeanBeefPatty is a creator mainly on TikTok and YouTube that posts fitness content and other silliness. She's a big inspiration to me when it comes to fitness, and is blessed with great genetics on top of her hard work. So that makes her a perfect reference for me to draw muscles. That's pretty much all you need to know for this video, and I'll leave her channel in the description below, so you can check out her stuff. I started this drawing with a basic sketch and I used this image as a reference. Her abs really stand out here and I like the lighting on her arms. Recently I did a few more practices on drawing hips, so I think that this was the reason why I was able to finish the body relatively quickly this time. Unlike the face, with which I ran into many problems. I tried drawing the eyes my usual way at first, but that looked bad, so I decided to give something new a shot, and I drew them differently this time. And to be honest, it doesn't look the way I intended it to. Guess I just gotta do more practice sketches to figure this out. But anyway, then came the face and I was ready to draw her clothes as well. That also didn't take very long since her clothes are pretty tight in this picture. However, the jeans had a lot of details. I lightly sketched in the tattoos on her arms, but the one on her side I drew in later when coloring. I forgot to record drawing the hair and glasses, which means there is a hard jump to the line art. Sorry about that. I really gotta lock in and get that under control, because this happens more than I would like to admit. Okay, on with the video. While I let the line art play, I guess I can give an update on the last video, in which I mentioned that I was thinking about getting Katie Coop's How to Draw manga book and making a video on it. There's a lot to say about it, and I was thinking about drawing some of her drawings in my style for this video. I'm no expert artist, which is blatantly obvious, so I won't be able to critique it or give it a review. If anything, I think it's cool that this person got a book published at such a young age, but more on that in the actual video. Just let me know what you want me to do with it, and I might do it in the next video. And while you're at it, maybe leave a like and check out my socials if you would like. In total, this drawing took me about 5 hours, and it was super fun to render. I tried out many new things, so that made it a little more challenging than usual. The fact that Patty wears glasses also was a huge benefit, because that meant I was forced to draw glasses and therefore practice. They don't look great, but at least I was able to get some practice in, and that's what counts. Maybe one day I'll master them. The coloring process was straight to the point, but if you look at her eyes, you can see me adding highlights, or at least trying. This was something I saw lots of artists do, and I finally tried it for myself. As I was drawing, I kept thinking it looked bad, but I didn't know how to fix it either. So I just kept going, and looking at it now, maybe I should have used a different color than white. So just don't focus too much on it, alright? Another thing I tried was mixing up the way I shade the eyes, and that's actually something I tried and did like. I will keep doing it this way in a couple more drawings at least. This whole time I was thinking that something was missing, and then I realized that I forgot to draw the eyebrows. Luckily I noticed in time. If I had posted this without eyebrows, I would have felt really stupid. And with that mistake corrected, I was finally ready to start shading, which was the part I was most excited about. This started with the glasses and then the body. And I finally figured out how to choose colors, so let me tell you about it. This way of doing it might not be anything new to you, but for a while I was struggling with this method for some reason. Basically, you're supposed to pick your base shade and then increase the saturation a little. Then you add more gray by moving up in my case, and moving everything towards red a bit. As you can hear by my less than professional explanation, I'm not a professional artist yet, but maybe this can help someone. Like I said, I struggled with this way of picking colors for a while, but in truth I don't really know why. I've tried to use this method before, but it always looked bad, and then I sort of winged it. But now it has finally clicked and I was able to make it somewhat alright. Maybe I just need to train my eye to find out how much I need to move the slider. Either way, I'm happy that I was able to figure this out. As you can see, while shading the skin, I was using a different brush that allowed me to blend more. Usually I try to go for a cell shading style, but I wasn't sure how I was going to make this work while coloring her abs. Looking back, I'm happy I did it this way. Let me show you how I did the clothes, and I'm sure you will agree. I started with her pants and realized pretty quickly that they would have to have some kind of texture on it. So first I tried the textures that Krita provided, but that didn't give me the effect I wanted. And while thinking, I remembered a tip from Mark Brunet. It's to look for a texture online, and then to set the layer mode to darken. This was originally meant for backgrounds, but I figured it would work with the pants too, and it did. I'll link the video in the description, of course. Then I shaded the shirt, which turned out better than expected honestly, and I tweaked the skin a bit more by adding a Terminator layer and a slight blush. This makes the skin feel more alive. After doing the hair, I struggled a bit with her tattoo. It's pretty complicated and I had to figure out how I can simplify it without risking that people won't recognize it as hers. The background was rather simple though, so I was able to move on to the highlights. For the highlights on the hair, I also tried a new way of doing them, but that still needs a bit of work. Overall, it looks alright though for now. The last step was a bit of lighting, and then we're done. So, what do we think? Trying new things was fun, and I felt like I learned a lot in this drawing that I can use to improve my art bit by bit. LeanBeefPatty is one of my favorite creators in the fitness space, so it was fun to draw her, and knowing myself, I will probably do it again someday. If you like what I do and you want to see more of me and my art shenanigans, then consider subscribing or checking out my Patreon in the description. This is where I post extra content and where you can get early access to stuff. But that's all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it and take care.